it's not really just as cut and dry as that. There is really a market in the United States for child trafficking, for sex trafficking, for different things like that. And as sick as it may be, there are a lot of, as you can see, prominent people who actually engage in a lot of these activities. You know, they might got a wife and kids and different things like that, and they still find the time to do these things on the side. It kind of sickens your stomach. It makes you, especially if you have children, it makes you want to not let them go anywhere. You know, no, you can't have a sleepover over there. I don't know them, so on and so forth. You know, your kid is like 13, 14 years old. You still probably just want to walk around holding their hand in the mall, so on and so forth. But it's like this society that we're living in, for some reason or another, these things are occurring, and as you can see, the punishments aren't really fitting the crime. You know, to me, there's no reason why he should even be able to plead out and only receive 5 to 12 years. To me, that's mind-boggling, especially when I know people who have committed, let's say, drug offenses or assaults or whatsoever have you, which to me, yeah, a crime is a crime. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, legal, whatever, you know, whatever kind of aspect you want to look at it. Everybody, you commit a crime, you got to do the time. But why do I know people that are getting 20 years to life for a pound of weed, but this dude is able to plea himself out for over 14 counts, you know, of child endangerment and child abuse and rape, statutory rape and all these things? Like, what is going through the mind of that prosecutor when he allows even the option for a plea deal? You know, it just makes you think about just this legal system as a whole, and why is it not really the same across the board? You know, as far as crime and punishment. But let me continue with the rest of the story. I'm sorry, I got a little bit sidetracked in my feelings a little bit as far as this is concerned. But apparently, this is another aspect of the story that the mainstream media isn't really rolling with, because I guess this guy, he's not, you know, as prominent as Jared. So of course you can't really make enough memes about this guy because nobody knows him. But Jared actually had a partner as far as this situation was concerned. His name was Russell Taylor of Indianapolis, and apparently he was the executive director of the Jared Foundation. Now, not only was this guy the executive director of Jared's Foundation, which was, you know, to help at-risk youth and to help fight childhood obesity, so on and so forth. So as you can see, that already just puts them in the realm of having children trust them and being around children and so on and so forth. This guy apparently had already come from a different organization where he was around a lot of children, and he had already set up a different foundation and different things like that. So this guy already was like a repeat offender as far as these children were concerned. But apparently he's the one who started to supply Jared with homemade child pornography, including victims as young as 6 years old. And on multiple occasions between 2011 and up until this year, just continued to help Jared locate different children and different teenagers and supply him, you know, with more material, so to speak, just for lack of a better term. Then, when Russell was arrested in April of this year, April 29th of this year, he got locked up. You know, they finally tracked him down, got him on child pornography charges. What blew my mind as far as this story is concerned is Jared fired this guy, Russell. right after he was arrested for the child pornography, and then turned to the media and just put out a statement saying that he was so shocked and that his foundation has severed all ties with Russell, and was just so hurt by what this guy Russell was doing to children and so on and so forth. And I'm like, you really gotta be nuts, and you really gotta be a disgusting individual to not only just to have your partner get arrested for this and then you act like you just, had no wrongdoing in it. That might be to be expected. But as I said, this guy was arrested in April. Jared continued to take trips to New York City, I believe almost every week to 2 weeks, to have sex with underage children after he had already fired this guy and condemned all of his actions, as far as he could. Are you serious? Like, what really has to be going through your mind, to want to continue that behavior, not only just on the strength of, oh, well, you just shouldn't be doing this, but then to just sit there and condemn this man, and then a week later, you flying to New York to go do the same thing. Like, you don't deserve no plea deal, bruh. Like, you don't deserve any I can't even really fathom, like, really the words that I want to use to just express legally, like, because I don't want something to happen to this dude, and then people like, yo, I heard the white say something crazy on the radio. He probably did it. Nah, that's not gonna be me today. But yeah, it's just crazy. And then you go on social media, and of course, I saw a lot of people talking about the whole comparisons between, the Jared situation and how come, a lot of people weren't making, such a big deal about it as far as, like, let's say in comparison to the Bill Cosby situation with the whole, him drugging women and so on and so forth. And in my mind, I was like, well, it kind of sucks that so many people were riding Bill Cosby just when he just first was just being accused of anything. All of a sudden, Bill Cosby was just the devil walking the earth. But Jared is actually admitting that he did these acts and so on and so forth with victims way younger than Bill Cosby. And I really, of course, there's people that are upset about it, but I don't see that on a national level, them really vilifying Jared like they did with the Bill Cosby situation. To me, Bill Cosby, if you drugged them women, you was raping them women without no consent, you need to go to jail too, bruh. I don't care if you're 85 years old. You need to spend the rest of your days in jail. It just is what it is, It's really no way around it. But until that day, like, people are really already passing judgment as far as that's concerned. Like, really, just to put it in an aspect, I've even seen more people sit there and go off about Sandra Bland not using her turn signal more than I've been seeing people go off about this whole Jared situation. And, like, to me, that's just mind-boggling. You know what I mean? But as far as that's concerned, Jared, whatever. But on the flip side, as far as, rape is concerned and statutory rape and so on and different things like that, it made me also think about the whole aspect of, when there are teachers out there who are, like, let's say, having sex with their students and so on and so forth, it made me think about that double standard that does exist within a lot of people's minds. And I honestly had to be self-reflective and really had to really think to myself and say, I used to be one of those people where I would say, oh, if my son ever came home and told me, his teacher, his sexy little teacher jumped on him or whatever, I'd be like, boy, what you telling me for? You better go get that thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
especially if it's Miss Trinidad.
But, I really just had to retrain my mind and really just say to myself, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, what gender they are, and what really this is. At the end of the day, rape is rape, if the person is underage, the person is just underage, There's a story, going around because of the fact that we local to the Baltimore area, but there's actually an ex-Ravens cheerleader who was just sentenced 2 days ago for actually, they say she raped a 15-year-old boy. Now, as far as the story is concerned, it doesn't really parallel exactly to the Jared situation. Like I said, it was just a one-time thing. Apparently the young man, he was a friend of her son's. They, had texted each other a couple of times, and they ended up drinking at the beach or something, and some acts happened. The story came out. They ended up charging her with statutory rape, so on and so forth. I believe now her punishment, she has to, register as a sex offender. She's on probation, so on and so forth. As far as her punishment is concerned, I can actually understand that punishment a little bit more because she had no prior history of, raping children or different things like that. She hadn't done it since or anything like that. She said that it was a moment of weakness. Her husband had just left her. She was drunk. She gave some alcohol to the young man. He was drunk, so on and so forth. And I had to, just reading it, I said, at the end of the day, it's wrong, And I think, it's still a little bit light, the sentence, as far as, she got, I think it's called level 3 probation, where she got to check in like every week or twice a week, something like that. But I feel like, she should have still did a little bit of jail time because, like I said, at the end of the day, rape is still rape. No really matter to what the circumstance entails. But it just made me really think about the culture that we have in America as a whole, to where a lot of people feel as though what she did probably still really wasn't rape, I know a couple of guys right now where if their 15-year-old son would have came home and told them that an ex-Ravens cheerleader, did such and such with him after they got it, they'd be like, oh, that's what's up, son, good job, so on and so forth. But if it was the other way around and an ex-Ravens coach would have, had a little bit of relationship with a 15-year-old girl, the world would, they would be trying to get this dude's head on a stick, So I had to really change my way of thinking in regards to that, because I even used to say, yo, I got some teachers in school, I wish they would try me. You know what I mean? And I honestly, because I didn't know any better. It was always that, I'm just trying to get it however I can. And if Mrs. Smith look at me and tell me, come clean this chalkboard after class, it's going down. You know what I'm saying? But now that you're growing up, that would have been rape. And it's not really any way around that. So I'm just encouraging people to just really start to put things in a proper mindset. Really, I guess in a way, just kind of just start seeing things for really what they are. There definitely is always. Is it right? No, but there's always going to be some kind of a double standard as far as men and women are concerned. How sexual acts are viewed between the genders and different things like that. But we got to kind of just start, I guess, bridging the gap between the two, and really just trying to. I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to really express exactly what I want to say and how I want to say it. We're still just trying to keep some regard for my actual audience. But yeah, definitely. If anybody has any questions, any opinions, comments, anything like that, in regards to in either one of those